You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, B&B fans. Belinda from Soap Dirt here, and we have got to talk about Luna Nozawa's frustrations with her mom over those illegal drugs she popped, and I just wonder if her aunt Li Finnegan's about to get more deeply involved in this story. We're going to dive into all that, but if you haven't yet, please click subscribe. So it feels to me like things are starting to really come out now. At first, when we saw Li Finnegan treating her sister Poppy Nozawa like garbage, it felt like Li was being way too harsh and judgy when she was harping on Poppy's lack of morals. It felt like she was making assumptions and accusations, but then as Li and Poppy have had more detailed conversations, I think we are starting to get a much clearer picture of why these sisters do not get along. They were raised in the same two-parent home. It sounded stable and normal. I do think Li is a few years older than Poppy, but none of that explains their difficulties. None of that baseline stuff we know. We see, of course, that Li is a successful doctor, and it sounds from what she's saying that Poppy could have had a great career too. Li keeps talking about her sister's potential and how she wasted it. And then as Li talked, it began to seem like Poppy might have been out of control for years, perhaps since she was a teenager. Li, it definitely seems, has known for quite a while that Poppy was doing drugs. And this little mint habit of hers is that. Let's be very clear. It's a drug addiction. This is not her taking a melatonin tablet or something, or some sort of something from the herb shop. This is not Poppy having a THC edible marijuana mint. No, those are actual mints that can mellow you out a little, but even taking 3 of them would not do what happened to Luna. So I've seen a lot of chatter and comments on Soap social media about how Luna has no right to be mad at her mom because she was eating mints out of an unlabeled container. True enough, but like my grandma kept hard candy in this little decorative tin in her purse. That's, kind of common with some older ladies, not necessarily with women Poppy's age, but I ate the mints out of her little container without ever thinking, gee, I hope my grandma didn't slip me some, Xanax or roofie me. So Poppy has been calling these mints for years, and her daughter, who trusted her, thought they were actual mints. So that's why. But what they actually are is illegal drugs. This is not something Poppy is buying in a store. She's not getting it in a dispensary, because if you get it in a dispensary, you actually know what is in it. And it's definitely not coming from a pharmacy, from a prescription. She's got to have some kind of drug dealer getting her this stuff. But at the same time, I do not expect B&B to be specific and tell us what she's actually taking. Just like Bull did that stupid thing where they never said exactly what Eric had wrong with him. We went weeks and weeks and weeks, and finally they used the word cancer kind of in passing, but it was already way late in the process. They never said what kind of cancer, and he was literally on his deathbed with late stage cancer when he got this miracle cure of some sort. And I think that's why they were being vague, because there's generally not 11th hour stage 4 cancer cures. That would be pretty rare. It was all just such bad and sloppy writing, and I felt like that plot was just trying to trigger fan emotions and doing an Emmy grab. I personally thought it was a manipulative fail. I think I teared up maybe once during the whole thing, and mostly I just found it annoying. But my larger point was that they were so painfully vague with Eric. I expect something similar with them not naming these drugs that Poppy's popping. We have Luna now totally distraught that her mom's little pick-me-up pills caused her to fall in bed with Zende Forrester. He's sickened by all of this too. I was actually really stunned when Poppy basically came at Zende and tried to physically assault him when she's the one that is pretty much to blame for all this. She started it. Yeah, yeah, he was flirting with someone who had a boyfriend, but I mean, come on. That's something many guys do. Not a crime. It's not the coolest behavior, but it's not that big a deal. Not the same as leaving your illegal drugs lying around on your daughter, basically overdosing on them and doing bad things, because she was almost catatonic. So what I'm wondering is if Luna Nozawa might go to another family member about this crisis. I mean, yeah, she could go to Finn, but she might be too embarrassed to talk to him. So I just wonder if Luna might go to her Aunt Li to talk this through. As angry as Luna is at Poppy right now, and the things she's saying remind me of the way that Li talks to Poppy. So I wonder if Luna finally realizes maybe her Aunt Li wasn't being over the top with her criticism of her mom. Luna might even think Li would be someone that could understand what she's going through. And if Luna is worried about some after effects or side effects of whatever mystery drug she got, she could get her Aunt Li to run some tox screens or some other kind of test, since she's a doctor. So I know that whether she hears it from Luna or from somebody else or overhears it, Li Finnegan will inevitably find out that Poppy lost control of her little happy pills and her daughter accidentally ingested them. I can only imagine that Li will hurl insults at her sister and say she warned her before that she is a bad influence on her daughter. She said it the other day when she was calling Poppy a gold digger and said she was training Luna to be the same way because they are both dating wealthy men. And now Li might accuse Poppy of turning her daughter into drug-addicted junkie like she thinks her sister is. Can you imagine how explosive all that would be? I kind of hope Luna does go to Li Finnegan and confesses everything that happened. I think it all needs to come out. Plus, I still suspect Finn might be Luna's father. And I suspect they showed us this Luna hallucinating non-consensual sex stuff as a hint of how Luna herself might have been made. If Poppy has been dosing herself with her little happy mint since she was in her 20s, I suspect maybe she drugged Finn so he doesn't remember having sex with her. Why else would Poppy keep saying she cannot ever admit who was Luna's dad, denied it was Bill, mentioned he was a nice guy, never knew she was pregnant, and then Finn brought up how close he and Poppy were at exactly the time she got pregnant. And in particular, why was Poppy lurking outside the design office staring in at Finn while he was on a work call? She seemed unable to take her eyes off him, and I can't think of another explanation for why she was low-key stalking him while saying nothing. It is creepy, but Bold has done creepier plots with near family swapping spit and other bodily fluids. So don't say they won't do it. They would. We shall see how it goes, but I am cheering for Luna to spill the beans to her aunt about her mom's little medicinal mints and what happened to her because of them. Let me know what you think about this. Do you hope that Luna tells her aunt? Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely drop those comments and come back soon. I'm here talking B&B 7 days a week, and as always, it is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.